First down, play fake. Boot to the right. Witten's open. At the 5, at the 3. Touchdown for the goal.
That's the famed voice of the Dallas Cowboys, Brad Sham, with Jason Witten back in the National Football League, back with the Dallas Cowboys, back in the end zone, fittingly enough. The last time he caught a touchdown pass was on the 10th of December, 2017, against the Giants. So he likes to do it against the Giants. And he's here on behalf of our good friends at Courtyard, here on the Rich Eisen Show. Jason Witten. How are you, Jason?
I'm doing well, Rich. Great to be on with you.
What was that like, being back in the end zone in an NFL game? What was that like for you?
Oh, it felt great. I think the biggest thing is, when you make a decision to come out of retirement and you start the work, and certainly it takes a lot of work to get back out there, you think about those moments of playing the New York Giants in Week 1 and, helping your team win, by getting in the end zone. So it was a special moment, and you try to process it. It's a long season. You got to move on, but that's one that we'll remember for a long time.
Where's that ball right now? Where is it?
I think the equipment managers have it. I hope, anyways. I just kind of gave it to the official. It's kind of the old rule I have. Act like you've been there before. You know about that, Rich.
Yeah, I do. I do. It's interesting.
Like when you run that 40.
Well, yes, I do act like I've been there before. Every single time. Unfortunately, every single 40 looks like the one from before, Jason. That's my problem. So now that you're back in it and you see what Dak looked like, last time you saw Dak, he was just a mere rookie, and we were going through that whole business of Romo or him and Romo. How different is he now, Jason?
Well, I think he's playing. Look what he did on Sunday. He's just playing at that high level, and I think a lot of times when you start evaluating or we talk about young quarterbacks, we're like, what's the one thing that they improve on? They're taking that next step. And that really entails a lot of different things. And I think for Dak, it's like he's done all of them. Line one for him, I think, is he has the respect of everybody in that locker room. He's the true leader, and that's not the case. There's 52 other guys and certainly support staff and coaches that would run through a wall for him, and that's important, especially at the quarterback position. And he really defines what you want out of QB1: hardworking, dependable, great leader, and he's comfortable with this system. He's in command. His ability to get to all the different checks, his velocity of throws, being aligned with Kellen Moore, the new young coordinator. I just think he's done all that at a high level, and that's why he's had that success in Week 1.
Yeah, have you ever had a coordinator younger than you? Is this a first for you, Jason?
This is a first, and a first former teammate of mine that's a coordinator.
Right, that's right, too. So what has he brought to the equation that's never been brought to the equation in all your time in Dallas, Jason?
Well, I think, Sunday what you saw was a lot of pre-snap shifts in motions. The first thing you think of is look what the Rams have done the last 2 years with Sean McVay. And, I feel like it comes off of that tree branch, so to speak, of, kind of try to confuse the defense with some stuff with tempo and pre-snap to not allow them to get to the perfect look. And that's easier said than done, and Kellen's done a good job of simplifying all of that. And then, we're built to give Zeke the ball. He's going to get his carries, and we're going to kind of grind out a lot of those games with our rushing attack behind our great offensive line. But I just think Sunday it was an attacking offense, a play-action game down the middle. There's a lot of weapons, and I give Kellen a lot of credit to stay in that attack mindset and really try to attack the game vertically. Something that it was nice to see in this offense.
Jason Witten, future Hall of Famer, back with the Cowboys, back here on the Rich Eisen Show. So your coach as well. You've been around Garrett for a long time, and he's in a walk year after all these years. He's coaching for his gig, and I'm wondering how that changes anything. Do you see any difference at all, Jason?
Well, no. I think, look, that you're right. That could be a difficult situation for a lot of teams. But I've known Jason a long time. He doesn't blink. He doesn't get fazed by those things. He really doesn't. Talking about eliminating the outside noise, I don't know that I know anybody that does that better than him. And so, if you think he's going to be fazed by that, he's not. He just simply thinks, all right, how can this team get better? How can we win? And I think he's done a good job with, adding Kellen to the mix and giving him the freedom. And, Chris Richard is a young coach and what he's done with the defense. And certainly the players respect him. So he's unfazed by it. I think that just comes with his experience as a player and an assistant coach and, being in the Cowboys organization as long as he has. He realizes, hey, there's going to be a lot of talk about those things, and the ability to kind of minimize it and not allow that to affect you, easier said than done. I think he's done a great job with it.
Well, you spent a year in the outside noise, so everybody thinks he just stands there and claps. So give me an example, if you can, as to what he does for you, players, locker room, either from before your time with ESPN or now, that you can say this is the reason why we're as good as we are.
Well, I think, line one for me, what I look for in a head coach is, does he provide perspective? Can he tell us prior to the week's game, hey, here's the challenges, here's what we have to do. Tell us how we're going to win the game. Give us the blueprint. Certainly we got to go out there and do it, and you need playmakers to do that, but let me know how I'm going to do it. Give me some hope as I get prepared for this week's game of what that formula looks like. I played for Parcells. I don't know that anybody did that better than him. Certainly Belichick's name's got to be mentioned in there. But, tell us how we're going to win, what that formula looks like. I think Jason does a good job of identifying that early in the week, kind of holding your foot to the fire of making sure that you do that in the week's work, how you prepare, how you train, and then reminding you, just kind of, all right, guys, here we go, bring it back. And then within the game, I think – that's the misconception, right, of the clapper and all that you reference. He is constantly talking about situations in the game. We rep those game situations. It came up before the half with 9 seconds of our defense running the sideline defense. It converts when they try to go for the Hail Mary. All those situational football things that I think really good head coaches talk about and walk through. I think Jason has done a good job of that. And so, it's a show-me game. You got to go win, players and coaches alike, and he gets that. He's not worried about that. He doesn't allow that to enter his mindset. He's a mentally tough guy. He really is, and I think he's got a lot of trust in his coaching staff to delegate some of that, and he believes in his players for sure.
Well, and in your tenure with Dallas, in the few minutes I have left with you, Jason Witten of the Dallas Cowboys, on occasion it was a search for a quarterback, but obviously had Romo for all those years. Now you got Dak. Sometimes it was who's the second wide receiver? Who's the other person? Sometimes it was who's the other receiver other than you, Jason. Now it just seems like there is all over the lot playmakers, and now you, and that defense. Is this the best Dallas Cowboys team you've ever played on?
Gosh, there's been some good ones over the years. 07 was a good team, but I think if you're stacking them up, certainly this is as good of a team, if not the best team roster that I've played with. Just looking at that skill set, I've had some great ones. T.O. and Dez, of course, and a lot of weapons. But you see Amari, you see Gallup come on. Cobb's a great pickup. He's a pro's pro. Certainly, this offense goes through Zeke and I look at this defense and the way they play, just the effort that they play with. That Rod Marinelli, it's paying off for them. The best thing about this group, it's an accountable group. It's a hardworking, it's a humble group. And you look what they did last year. They're 3-5. We're talking about the noise. It got pretty loud there in Dallas, and the ability to kind of step back and find a way to win in the division. I think that can give you a lot of confidence as a young team and now enter this year. So hopefully that carries over. But yeah, it's as good of a roster that we've had around here, and great group of guys that makes it a lot of fun to go into work every day and try to get better.
Well, we've been talking about the Courtyard contest, the Super Bowl contest, in which folks need to talk about their love of the game and the friends who have their backs in order to get in the stadium the night before the Super Bowl, sleep there and wake up there, perhaps maybe to see your Cowboys. Who's the friend that you put out there for Courtyard for your relationship, Jason?
Well, I had an old mentor when I first got here, and that was Emmitt Smith. So he's my friend.
Okay.
I don't think I'll ever get to his yardage, but hopefully I can keep stacking it up.
Right.
But it's what it is. It's a great experience by Courtyard. Super Bowl sleepover contest, and
That's great,
some
man.
of their friends to get out there and experience that. Nothing like it.
Yeah, I know. We've been telling people just go ahead and send in a photograph and a way for you to talk about your friendship and your love of your team and love of the football world, and you get to stay maybe in the Super Bowl stadium the night before and wake up and see your Cowboys. Right, Jason?
That's exactly right. That's what we're hoping for. I meant to tell you, Rich, too.
Yes, sir.
It was great that you had Craig Kilborn back in there.
Hey, you saw Killer here, huh?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Sports Center in the mid-'90s, man, nothing like it.
Hey, Jason, you were getting set to go to Tennessee back when I started before that. Were you in high school when I started? Were you in high school in 1996?
Oh, yeah, freshman in high school.
Oh, my gosh. I feel older now. But so you saw Kilborn here. Kilborn was amazing, wasn't he?
He was the best.
Hey,
he was the best.
Jason, always appreciate you being out there, and hopefully this is the first of many times I get you back here on the show. You're one of my favorites.
All right, thanks, Rich. Good talking with you.
You got it. That's Jason Witten, Cowboys tight end, right here on the Rich Eisen Show.
For more of the Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.